waiting until you're 60 to decide to retire? Let's talk about it today. Let's talk about how using real estate can help you retire early before you're just waiting around to collect from your Roth IRA or your 401k and retire at the age of 60. Technically, you can start withdrawing without penalties at 59 and a half. And for most Americans, this is going to be their number one form of retirement savings. It's going to be, through your work, every paycheck, you put aside money into your 401k, your IRA, whatever it may be, and your company matches. That way, your investments are, multiplied through your company match. And in time, with compound interest, you're able to retire with a million, maybe more, in your retirement accounts. But the reality is, here today, we're talking about retiring early with real estate. Yes, those are great. I'm not bashing on them at all. I actually think you should have them. I have one myself, but one thing that you should consider is maybe diversifying your investments a little bit, actually actively working towards your environment through ac- actively working towards your retirement, excuse me, so that you can retire early. This is going to come in the form of maybe splitting off the contributions that you put, maybe reducing your contributions and increasing your savings. That way you can buy rental properties. That way you can do fix and flip projects. That way you can use the BRRRR strategy, which is a buy, renovate, rent, refinance, and repeat strategy. That way you can leverage your finances to grow them exponentially using real estate, which is a hard asset. It's not going anywhere. It's insured in case there's damage, and the property values continue to rise year over year. Even if you look from the past 20, 30, 40, 50 years, property values have only increased. Not only that, as a tenant and a landlord, as a landlord with tenants, your rents are increasing every year. So there's multiple ways to actually benefit through investing in real estate. Two of my favorites are the BRRRR strategy, the fix and flip. And at the end of the day, in all reality, if you're just buying turnkey buy and holds, then you're set up for success. Bought my first buy and hold in 2017 for $175,000. Today, I'm sitting here January 2024, just about 6 years later, 6.5 years later, let's say, and it's actually gained $160,000 worth of appreciation, worth of value. If I sold it today, my check would be 160K. And that doesn't even include the principal paydown that has accumulated over the last 6 years. So every month there's a tenant in there, multiple tenants, and each month they were paying the rent, right? They were paying their rent, which covered my mortgage, which covered my property management fees, my taxes, my insurance, and my mortgage. And within the mortgage, there are a few different fees, right? You have your principal payment. So that's the amount of money you owe them, that you owe on the property, right? The second part is the interest, the amount of money you owe the lender for giving you the loan. And then obviously you have your taxes and insurance. But let's focus on the first two. The first two, principal and interest. Interest is always tax deductible against your rent payments. So that has helped me have this property actually cash flow tax free every year. I don't have to pay income tax on the taxes because of all my deductions, mortgage interest being one of them, not the only one, but one of them. Secondarily, the principal pay down. So over these last 6 years, the principal has been paid down. So now the balance is much lower than the original 175, including obviously down payment. So if I were to sell the property today, I'd have about $200,000 to use just 6 years later. And if I put that same amount of money, so $35,000 that was originally invested into that property, and I put that into an S&P 500 index, today it would only be worth $61,250 given the returns that have occurred over the last 6 years, year to date, essentially. So to have basically a $140,000 change in return is unfathomable. I would have been so sad if I just put that money into the stock market and waited, because I would have missed out. Now, I can't just sell the property like that. Real estate takes time, but it's in a very developing area. It's in a very attractable area. So it would sell fairly quickly. Even if it took me 2, 3 months to actually close a sale, okay, 2, 3 months, more principal is getting paid down, still cash flowing every month. And at the end of it, the property is going to sell. I'm going to get the returns. So that's just one example on ways that real estate can really help catapult your retirement. And we're talking about early retirement here. We're talking about having a 9 to 5, grinding it out every day, and instead of just dumping money into your 401k, waiting for the years to pass by, hoping that you have enough to retire, actually actively taking action towards that retirement, and maybe retiring when you turn 50, maybe retiring in your 40s, just depending on where you are watching this video, the type of capital you have to start investing in real estate, and the action that you're going to actually take. It takes action. It doesn't take sitting on the sidelines. And that's something that I want to share with you today. Retiring early through real estate is something that is absolutely possible. It's absolutely something that can be done. It's whether or not you make the decision to do so. It's whether or not you're in the financial position to allocate those funds, to spend the time investing in real estate, which I teach you how to do here on this channel, on my Instagram, on my TikTok. And also, whether or not you're going to make the sacrifices it may take. If you have to start, spending some extra time investing in that, okay, I'd rather work 60 hours a week. Let's just say, not saying you have to, but I'd rather work 40 at my job and 20 on side hustle, potentially, let's say, real estate, and retire 10, 15, 20 years earlier than I would if I just sat around and waited. Additionally, knowing that I would have a greater retirement amount at the end of it, potentially with cash flow, with cash coming in every month, assets sitting there in my properties, just value sitting there that I can sell and have a huge check at one point. Take my family on vacation, pay for my kids' college, buy a new house, uh, you know, all sorts of things, pay for medical bills. It just really depends. But utilizing real estate to invest in your future, real estate to retire early, is something that's key. And if you have any questions about it, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I post lots of content on how to actually do this, how to analyze properties, how to find properties, how to network, find contractors. And I also coach individuals one on one on how to use their money, use their funds, not lose money in transactions, not lose money in messed up projects, and be able to actually reach that goal of retiring early. So until next time, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be posting a lot more content on how to invest in real estate, how to start your portfolio, how to make the right decisions. And I look forward to talking to you soon.